You have no idea how excited I am for this. Like many of you, I grew up with the Spyro series, so... Oh, fuck.
Nasty Nork is back, and he's got titties! In the year 1998, a little company called Insomniac created a game called Spyro the Dragon, and it was really good. The end. And it was so good that it became one of the mascots for the PlayStation and got a trilogy of games. But after a, mostly fantastic trilogy, Insomniac left for better things. Like hands. And then Spyro fell into the hands of Vivendi, who decided to use the title as a fleshlight for 8 months until this came up. But that's a whole other beast. After that came Spyro: A Hero's Tale, released on PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox on November 3rd, 2004, and is also the only game I've ever gotten a request for. From my sister. 2 years ago.
Last month, Activision announced that they were going to remaster the first 3 Spyro games for current-gen consoles. And that's fucking bueno. I grew up with those games, and it just kind of got me in the Spyro mood, you know? But the originals I already replay a lot, like I already stream them on my channel. Enter the Dragonfly I replay every once in a while as like a party trick. And the Legend series, I'll get to that one. And the portable games never happened, and you can't convince me otherwise. Figured I'd take a peek at the off one that I haven't touched since I was like 12.
This game takes place after the last one, but this time Nasty Nork is back, under the control of an adult dragon named Red.
The jokes have been made, I'm moving on.
Red's trying to take over the world, blah blah, you gotta stop him. Honestly, not really interesting stuff. The gameplay is basically the same as the previous games. You've got your charge, and your flame...
They swapped the buttons! Why the fuck would you swap the buttons?
It's been the same for 6 years. There is no reason for this beyond wanting to stir up shit. The hardest challenge in this entire game is overcoming my muscle memory and not just charging off cliffs when I'm trying to flame. I can't even understand the thought process here. Moving on. You've also got your jump and glide. They added a double jump to it, which is a nice change, honestly. Doesn't really affect much considering they removed the hover, but it looks nice. They also brought back the head bash, but now it's on the same button as charge, which eliminates charging in the air, which is frustrating. You've now got this shield move, which is useful against like one enemy in the game, and they've brought back the different elemental breaths from the previous game, along with a longer range projectile version of them, which was never useful or needed ever. Your flame breath controls like it always has, kills enemies, breaks chests, but doesn't work on metal objects. Your lightning breath bypasses metal objects, but takes a while to kill anything. It's also used to power up certain nodes for puzzles, and it arcs to enemies, so it's the best breath to hit fodder with, because for some reason they decided to make them damn well impossible to catch. Your water breath is useful for about 2 puzzles in the entire game and doesn't kill anything. It just serves as a thing to hit accidentally when you're trying to switch your breath weapon to something useful. And then there's the ice breath. Freezes enemies big or small, disabling them and leaving them to be destroyed by your charge. The best breath in the game objectively. It's also used to freeze these steam spouts so you can pole swing on them, which is another ability you can learn, and frankly, it's fucking broken. The hit detection on them are seemingly random. Sometimes I'll latch on when I'm nowhere near it, and other times I'll land directly on them and just phase completely through them. I don't rage quit games often, but this one room later on in the game just fucking pissed me right off. The world is split up into 12 unique areas that are grouped up into 3s. You can move freely between the 3 before completing them, fighting a boss, and moving on to the next 3. It's different than previous games in the sense in that instead of a hub world with portals that lead you to completely different detached worlds, there are less worlds that are attached more seamlessly. In these worlds, you'll be destroying dark gems, which uncover paths for you to travel, as well as uncovering the boss room after destroying all 10 of them in your designated cluster of worlds. There are also light gems, which open certain optional doors and power the professor's gadgets, which can do as little as break harder chests, or as much as let you travel to the next cluster of worlds to rinse and repeat. And then there are dragon eggs. They just unlock little extra features like concept art, changing your model, and playing the minigames, which I'll get to in a sec. Honestly, none of this really interests me, but being able to change your model is something I don't see very often in these kinds of games. They enable you to play as either a red Spyro or Amy Rose the Dragon.
Still, it would look nice on an engagement ring, don't you think, Spyro?
Both of which characters show up once in the entire game, provide you with nothing useful, and then disappear, never to be seen again, even in later games. What the fuck happened to them? Oh, and I guess you can't forget the most iconic collectible in the entire series, gems. Wait, yes you can! They mean nothing! They're literally nothing more than currency to spend at Moneybag's shop. You can't even collect them all. While there's only so many scattered around the level, respawning enemies will give you more gems every time you kill them. You can spend your gems on keys, teleport vouchers, and when you can afford it, the extra hit point for sparks. The Horn Dive Shockwave isn't needed as you'll never fight enemies with it. It's exclusively used for dark gems, target chests, and trigger targets. The full life acts like a fairy from Zelda, but it's expensive as fuck and there are no lives, so dying doesn't really mean anything. And then he also sells ammo for your long-range breath shots.
But why the fuck would you even bother?
I guess gems are a good indicator of where you haven't explored yet, though. The bosses in this game are absolute jokes. Very predictable patterns, to the point that the second boss, in Neptune, I beat on my first try getting hit once. Their dialogue's also extremely annoying, constantly stating that I defeated them after each round of their fight.
Ah! I can't believe I was defeated yet again by someone so small.
You're still standing! I haven't defeated you yet. Or at least mix up your dialogue, like, at all. Throughout the game, there are minigame challenges. There are turret games where you get to demolish the local wildlife. They're alright. Then there's the ball gadget straight out of Wrath of Cortex.
I don't know why anyone would try to copy anything from that orphanage fire.
Sergeant Bird comes back and he takes over the flight levels. If you like them in the originals, you'll probably like them here. I don't like either, but I'm aware my opinion isn't common. The Sparks minigames are something out of Star Fox and are disgustingly easy, minus the fact that it's hard to see fuck all anything past your model. And then there's the falling boulders. There's seemingly no way to avoid them beyond pure dumb fucking luck. And with there being no invulnerability upon getting hurt, one wave of rocks can just destroy you entirely. And you're given bombs and missiles, but everything dies in one shot from your regular blasters, so I never even touched them. These Yeti are just enemies from the regular level that they just slapped in here without scaling them to Sparks, so they're just tiny Yeti, I guess? Oh, and Sparks talks in this one.
Small dark holes, not a problem for me, Spyro. I'll have that lock removed in no time.
I really wish he didn't. And then say hello to the professor's nephew, Blink the Mole. His levels are awful. They play as slow as a damp sponge on level ground, but hey, at least he can swing, climb, and shoot lasers just like real moles can. For completing these minigames, you get a dragon egg and the ability to try a harder version of the same minigame to win a light gem.
That's right. Your first prize is the optional one, and the second one is the item that you need to finish the game.
And the dragon eggs you get only go towards the minigame unlocks, which, why in the hell would I even want that? There are actually a few more light gems in the game than needed to finish the game, so after I found that out, I just started skipping these minigames entirely. I don't need the fucking headache. Well, not really a minigame, there are hunter segments where you get to play as Hunter with a bow and the ability to intercross a wall, because that's exciting! Even though cheetahs are known for running, not climbing, but the mole can climb, so fuck it, I don't care. Also, Bentley comes back for a cameo, and that's pretty neato.
There was a lot of effort put into this game, and you can feel it.
It looks really nice, everything is animated surprisingly well, even if it feels like they've got an eyelid fetish or something. Like, seriously, everyone just looks super fucking tired. They just can't keep their eyes open. The environments are all distinct and look nice, and I fucking adore the fourth wall breaks.
Oh, then how about red coins? No? Heart pieces? Gold tokens? I'm at a loss, Spyro. What exactly do you need to collect?
Maybe they rely on it a bit much, but I love it. But that's really where my praise stops. There are just way too many things stopping this game from being reasonably good. There are little to no invulnerability frames when getting hit, like your iframes run out before your hurt animation does, leading to being combo locked or completely destroyed by a single hazard. The game is pretty glitchy in that I've died even though I clearly still had sparks. I've had hits on me not trigger, and I've even had sparks just kinda stare at butterflies and not go for them. Enemies are obnoxious in this one, either hitting you before you get in range to hit them, enemies with projectiles so fast it's stupid hard to dodge, or them just not taking their hits sometimes. These basic enemies hit harder than the bosses. No fucking joke, these damn golems killed me more times than all the bosses combined. Some jumps require like frame perfect timing to make. I'll attempt to jump a few times, not even get close to making it, and I'll just assume you're not able to make it. But then I just will. That paired with the slippery edges, the ledge grab that just chooses when it wants to work, it's impossible to know from looking which jumps you're able to make. Not to mention the game having a freakout sometimes when you tap forward on the thumbstick. Sometimes when you tap forward, you'll do a little spin for some reason, and it'll fuck up your jumps. Every fucking time.
This game has the unique ability of pissing me off the second I fire it up, because I'm reminded that they swapped the buttons and then just everything else just starts flowing. This game is fine if you can look past the glitches and all the things they downgraded from the PS1 games. If you instead focus on enjoying it as its own detached game with cute cutscenes and fourth wall breaks, then fucking do it. But I simply can't. And now to wait super impatiently for the remaster.
Well done, Spyro! You've freed this realm from nasty Knock. Right after you did that, this teleporter started working again.
See this cave behind me? Well, it looks like you're not gonna fit through there.
This is light gems, batteries not included.